Welcome back to the Fears and Phobias Iceberg, Part 2. So, number 1 went off without a hitch. Banger, 34 views. Ask Brian Griffin what he thinks. Yep, that's exactly what I thought. So without further ado, let's get crack-a-lackin', crackers. Fear number 1 we have is astrophobia, which is the fear of lightning, thunder, thunderstorms, storms in a general sense. And while researching this, I saw that it was actually confirmed to be a legitimate phobia by Cleveland Clinic. So really good for him for going back to school and getting his degree, man. Good on him. Yeah, I know. No hat, different t-shirt. Listen, man, I'm just changing right in front of your very eyes. But next up, we have phanasophobia, which is the fear of being murdered. Which, yeah, who doesn't? Other than, a girl with a bright future and a smile that can light up a room and that everybody loves. But other than that, I don't understand who wouldn't have that fear. Following probably the most rational fear that we've covered yet is lygyrophobia, which is the fear of loud noises. I think I know someone with this fear, and we kind of used to light firecrackers in a pan by him. So, next up we have trypophobia, which is the fear of honeycombs, sponges, anything with repetitive patterns of small little itty bitty holes. So, I guess you're scared of SpongeBob, which, yikes. I mean, I can't imagine not having a joyous and whimsical childhood full of the funny yellow man. Another banger is pyrophobia. That is the fear of fire or things catching on fire, which, I don't know, man. I feel like every kid, boy, girl, whatever, they had a phase where lighting shit on fire was the coolest thing you could do. So I'm assuming this fear comes from lighting a Lego guy on fire or something, and the melted plastic gets on your fingers, and then you're too scared to tell your parents that the melted plastic's on your fingers because you were lighting Lego guys on fire in your basement. So now you don't know what to do because, there's burning plastic on you and you're scared, and you're so scared, and you're only 8. They're gonna kill you, and We now have obesophobia, which is the fear of putting on weight or waking up bigger than you were. I'm not really sure how that would work, but acrophobia, which is the fear of failure, which I know my friend Jack doesn't have because he just insisted that we would push them because, they're low, they're cracked. Yeah, okay, buddy, I'm not forgetting about that. Season 6, we were on the floating little island where Loot Lake was after it was Lean Lake, and you said, he's cracked. He wasn't cracked, Jack. He wasn't. Grow up. Sorry, guys, the new season of OG Fortnite came out, so I'm kind of pumped about that. But we now have automatonophobia, which is the fear of lifelike statues, sculptures, which I'm not really sure what the difference is, and animatronics. So if you played enough Five Nights at Freddy's, you definitely have this instilled in you because you'd rather just piss your bed than get mauled to death by Springtrap in your hallway. We now have megalophobia, which is not to be confused with the banger Megalovania by Toby Fox from this little underground game you might have heard of it called Undertale. Sans, MatPat gave a Steam key to the Pope. Anyway, megalophobia is the fear of large objects. Listed were cell phone towers, skyscrapers, and oil rigs. Which I can't just like imagine you have this and you're just like strolling through a city and you look up and you're just like, oh, well, my day's done. We now have nosophobia, which no, has nothing to do with Nosferatu, the vampire, but it is the fear of contracting a deadly illness or disease. Most common fear that is attached to this is the fear of contracting AIDS. Specifically AIDS. It said nothing about cancer or anything else. It just said AIDS. So, yeah. I guess this fear means you don't want AIDS. Oh, hat's backwards. Means we're really getting into it now. But we now have Cyrophobia, or Cairo. It is the fear of being cold, cold weather, and cold objects. So, if you're basically from any state above Kentucky, you're not allowed to have this fear, or else they chase you to a local Meijer or Kroger, and they hit you with as much Coney dogs as they can. It's basically like the Midwest version of stoning. Mesophobia. This is the fear of being lost, which, yeah. I mean, here's a couple clips of people being lost. Another banger fear that my girlfriend has is veophobia, the fear of driving cars. Now, believe it or not, this one has actually been used in many court cases, specifically in New York State, not the city, but the state, as ways of getting out of traffic tickets and accident tickets. Because if you state that you were in a panicked position because of your fear of driving, it causes you to do some things that you wouldn't do while you're stable-minded. So if you ever get pulled over for, a little bit of booze cruising, just say it helps you stay calm because you have veophobia. We now have galleophobia, which is the fear of sharks. Pretty rational one, I guess. I've seen the movie Jaws, but my homie, he's also swam with sharks. He's like, and I quote, "Them hoes are tight." So, I don't know. You could go either way with this. We now have chirophobia, which is the fear of hands. Oh, probably shouldn't make that motion. But I don't really... this is one that I can't really understand how you grasp. Maybe someone hit you with, like, one of these, I would guess, and now you're scared of ever looking at anyone's hands ever again. Here's one I know a lot of you guys don't have because you dated them. It's chlorophobia, which is the fear of clowns. And yeah, I'm talking to you. I know who your ex was. She pretty much looked like Ice Spice with the, giant orange wig, big red nose, all the makeup. Hey man, I get it. You like the big goofy shoes. Nothing wrong with that. But don't tell me you have this fear. I know who it is. I've seen the Reddit pages. We now have a fear that is something that seems to happen to every man at some point, which is gyroscopophobia, and that is the fear of aging. I'm not really sure why. I mean, I feel like, as soon as you gain sentience as a human being, you're like, I'm gonna die and get old one day. But at least 50% of the male population, when they hit 50 years old, they hit this like a brick wall, and they're like, all right, time to divorce my wife of 20 years, move to Florida, marry an Asian woman way younger than me, and buy a Corvette. So, yeah, that's got to be how you solve or conquer this fear. Kleptophobia is a fear that actually works both ways. It is the fear of like being robbed or the fear of having to rob somebody. So like, you know, you're scared someone's going to get your limited edition Funko Pop. So you're always on guard. But at the same time, you're scared that somebody's going to have the limited edition Funko Pop you don't have, so you're going to have to steal it. Then you're going to have to be on the run from the law forever. All because of a Funko Pop, dude? Really? We now have hadeophobia, which is the fear of hell, or Hades, but everybody knows that technically Hades is just the guardian of hell. It's not the place, and hell is from the Christian Bible, and Hades is from... Listen, it doesn't matter. What the point is this is a very valid fear to have. If you believe in any kind of afterlife, of course, that's what you're going to be scared of. That's kind of the whole point of being a good person. You got to be like, wow, I don't want to go there. And to bring her all home, our final fear for today is boogieophobia. Now, I swear to God, it says this verbatim. The fear of boogies or boogeymen. Now, yeah, you know, John Wick, he's the Baba Yaga, Russian for boogeyman. Fortnite Season 1, Chapter 3. You saw that skin, you pretty much just turned off your Xbox and threw it away. Thank you, everybody, once again for sitting through this, whatever you want to call it, for however long it is. Jack, thank you specifically, man. I really appreciate you wanting part 2. It really makes me feel good. You know, I'm going to keep making these because I'm a silly little goofball and they're fun and I get to talk and be creative. And I just want to say thank you.